Welcome to the DeanBodi Podcast. And what a great day we had today. And to start it off as... It's a Dean and Bodi show. All right. So we're having a great day today. And, we started with a little bit of a YouTube video on our YouTube channel, DeanBodi channel on YouTube. And remember, you can listen to this podcast, DeanBodi Podcast, at all the places that you can download podcasts, such as we are listed on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Soon to be more, but those are the main ones, and really excited about that as we have started our journey. DeanBodi, I am Dean, and Bodi is my beautiful Shiba Inu dog. And those of you who don't know the breed, it is a Japanese breed. It's a small version of the Akita and the closest to the wolf. And let me tell you, this beautiful beast has touched my heart in so many ways, and she brings me the joy vitamin multiple times a day. And let me tell you, if you go through depression or anxiety, or you're worrying about the day-to-day, and you're getting caught up in your own crazy negative thoughts, and all of a sudden Bodi comes around the corner with a toy in her mouth and ready to play or does something silly, you forget all about your troubles and all that stuff. And it's unbelievable what that does to you psychologically as it catches you off guard, and it's given to you kind of like as a gift multiple times a day, all day. Now, compare that to constant stress and irritation and aggravation on a constant basis, as opposed to getting the joy vitamin, planted in your brain multiple times a day. Talk about healthier. Man, this Bodi is worth her weight, a gazillion dollars. They're doing the whole stimulus trillion whatever. Bodi's worth more than 12 trillion gazillion. Unbelievable. So, love her to death. She helps me with the podcasts because she keeps my brain right. She has a friend called Google, looks up some answers for me from time to time, reminds me on what to talk about and things like that. That's the level of communication I have with Bodi, and that's the way we do it around here. But we had a great day today. On the YouTube channel, we did a little bit of a video this morning, and we talked about how the most powerful drug in the world, we dropped a little knowledge on you with the nutrition today. And, I had the doctor phase of my life. We'll get into that some other time, but that was a long journey for me. So I have, we have some knowledge about some things, and, we want to share that, and that's why we want you to share your wisdom and knowledge and things like that. DeanBodi@gmail.com. You can just shoot an email. We'll share your wisdom, your positive or whatever mood you're in with the listeners on the podcast, and we'll create a community. And it's all about sharing whatever. It doesn't always have to be positive. It can be whatever mood you're in. We're going through a lot of stress. We're here to help one another, and not let this thing beat us to the ground. We gotta encourage one another, and that's everything here, man. So we're gonna keep on keeping on, and we're gonna be doing podcasts and dropping videos on a daily basis, and that's what we're committed to do on our end. And you're welcome to join in how you can do it, and hit the like buttons, and make some comments on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel. You know how it goes. And download the podcast, and we'll figure this out as we go, because we're just kind of winging it. We're not worried about editing and polishing and fancy schmancy this and fancy schmancy that. We're just keeping it real, keeping it authentic. And that's the whole joy of all this, and the whole challenging part of it. And it started with ordering the microphone to just flipping on the on switch and stumbling through it, and we'll take it as it goes. And we don't need it to be clean. It's about the rough edges. Remember that movie Basic Instinct, and Sharon Stone was chopping that ice with the ice pick. Michael Douglas was I don't know. I mentioned something about ice cubes, and she says I like the rough edges, and that's what it's all about. It is the rough edges. It's the imperfections and things like that make things interesting, whether on at the individual level or art in general. And this is an art form, So join on in, and we're going to keep coming at you. DeanBodi's coming at you. DeanBodi is here again to help you get through the day. And, and that's what I wanted to say about that. But just to give you a little bit about the journey. So first of all, we did drop a little knowledge. Let me just bounce off that first, because what's that, Bodi? Yes, cellular nutrition. I promised Bodi that I would talk about cellular nutrition. Thanks for reminding me, Bod. But first, remember, the most powerful drug in the world begins with an F and ends with a D. It's called food. And supplementation is there to be exactly that, to supplement the diet, not to take the place of. You don't just take a Centrum Silver or a one a day from over the counter, which the quality's not good. That's another topic. But you don't take it and just eat Cheetos and Diet Mountain Dew and think that your immune system's going to be strong, right? Because like we said before, COVID likes the weak immune system. And the joke we told earlier today, I guess you haven't heard it, was, what did the father COVID say to the son COVID? He said, see those guys over there? They got a strong immune system. Don't bother with them. Keep on walking, sonny boy. Keep on walking. And that's exactly what we're talking about, keeping your immune system strong so things like COVID and things like the flu don't come around and plant themselves in your immune system. Don't leave that door open. So look, 90-10 rule is what we call it over here in DeanBodi world. 90-10 rule means 90% do the right things, eat the right way, take good nutrition, 10% treat. Most people do it the opposite in their lives. They do the 90% treat, the 10% vegetable and salad, and over time your body's going to break down. That's what happens. So, especially as we get a little bit older, we can't get away with what we used to when we were younger. When I was younger, like 9, 10, 11 years old or younger or in early teens, I could chase the ice cream man down the street, eat what I pretty much wanted to, and shove long sticks of bubble gum in my mouth and just keep going. And we used to burn it off because I was on my bike 24/7 or running around or foot races around the neighborhood, and we just never stopped running. But as you get older, you don't do it as much. You're not as active. Most cases you're not. There's some, people are still very athletic as they get older, but, let's get real here. Our pipes aren't as clean as they once were, but you have an opportunity to reverse that aging process as we get older. How do you do that? Well, it's not like you step in a time machine and they just reverse the aging. Not yet, anyway. That's probably coming down the road. Maybe not in my lifetime, but what you do is you're staying away from all the junk food, or you're staying away from the sodas, and you're staying away from the dairy, and all of that stuff. All these type 2 diabetes causing foods, all the bad starchy carbs, and all the dairy, and not avoiding the caffeine even. Which stresses out your adrenal glands. And, we're going to be diving in and out of some of this nutritional stuff as Bodi and I help. And she was yelled at me a little while ago about cellular nutrition. And so let's talk about it just for a second here while we're dropping some knowledge at the DeanBodi Podcast. Healthy cells is healthy you, right? So when you're taking a good quality supplement, you want it to be a whole food vitamin. Your body knows what a whole food is, doesn't recognize fractions of things, not just the ascorbic acid as an example with the vitamin C, the whole food, right? Along with that, you got the rutin and the bioflavonoids and the whole food so your body can absorb it at the cellular level. You want your minerals to be chelated, which means they're attached to an amino acid, so they get into the cell, drives things into the cell. So you get cellular nutrition. Now, when you absorb good quality supplements, then you're replacing some important nutrients. The food isn't even what it used to be. Let's be real, as far as nutritional value. So adding some good quality supplementation there to supplement the diet, most powerful drug in the world, begins with an F, ends with a D, called food. And then the rest of it helps enhance and fortify your day-to-day. So that's all. So just talk about whole food vitamins. If you're going to be finding something out there, make sure it is a whole food vitamin, that the minerals are chelated so your body absorbs them at the cellular level, and you're using what you're taking. You don't just want to pop a one a day. That's garbage. It goes in one way, comes out the same way. And, not only are you not utilizing that, but your body's not absorbing it. And you're really stressing out your system more than not even taking it. Your liver and kidney have to filter out, not only if you're on medication, synthetic drugs, but supplements that aren't good quality. It's got to deal with those too, and it looks at those things as a foreign invader because it doesn't know what fractions are. It knows whole foods. Okay? So that's the nutritional little segment of the DeanBodi Podcast today. And I tell you, man, I had such an unbelievable day. As Bodi and I, we were walking around the neighborhood, like two or three long walks. Bodi had me going today. Sometimes she just likes to be out and about and doesn't want to be inside. Sometimes she hears some noises upstairs, neighbors or next door, or who knows, it could be the maintenance people doing the landscaping, and sometimes the indoors echoes a little bit, and she just doesn't really enjoy it as much as, well, let me guess, because probably she's like a wolf. After a while, she does appreciate coming into the air conditioning and chilling out on her big cushy bed. She's got all kinds of beds all over this place, and I live in one giant doghouse, and I'm telling you, this is so much our little haberdashery, wolf den, rustic apartment. We love it, man. We love it. Bodi brings so much joy into this place. And so we're walking around the neighborhood, and we come across these kids, and they're throwing the football around. And of course, I had to see I had to see if I still had it. I'm like, you ready to go? Who's going to go? You going to go? He throws me the football, and I want to throw him kind of like a little bit of a long bomb, see if I still got it. And I don't ever throw the football anymore, but back in the day, I had kind of a gun. So I threw it. Man, that thing came out. I threw a perfect spiral, maybe because it was the anniversary of Don Shula, who, rest in peace, Don Shula, the greatest coach that ever lived, the Miami Dolphins. I am from Miami, Florida, and I did play Little League football. And I threw that ball, and it just brought me right back to that point in time. Unbelievable. Just something's a flip a trigger. You know what I mean? You're doing something and all of a sudden, boom. It's like you transport back, and in your mind, you can still throw the ball like that. And a lot of times your mind says, I can do it, and your body parts don't quite agree. But this time it all kind of came together. And man, I miss playing catch and stuff like that. And it was a constant thing back in the day. But it was fun doing that. And they were going around the neighborhood. They were talking about how asking people if they could throw out their trash or do different things and try to get some cash money. Whether they decide to do it on their own to help out mom and dad, or mom and dad sent them out there. Good for them, I remember when I was a kid, I would go around and wash windows. We lived in a great neighborhood in Miami. And back in the day when things like Halloween, oh my gosh, you could go around and talk about coming home with giant sacks of candy, would last you for the year and then some. When things were a little bit different back then, when it was okay and felt more safe to go out and about and parents weren't worried, and man, it was I feel very blessed to be able to talk about that in that level. It was just so much fun. And but they were talking about that, and I remember going around and doing the window washing and things like that around the neighborhood and trying to make some cash, and at an early age. I must have been around, 10, 11, and they looked about the same age, And I told them, I said, why don't you, instead of asking garbage and things like that, why don't you talk about doing the window washing? If you look at all of these places in the neighborhood, there's a lot of apartment complexes around here, and houses, of course. And talk about, you do one section there for $1, $2. You can knock out a bunch of these, and there were 3 of them, and I said, why don't you come up with the name for your little window washing business? And I said, how about the Triple Threat Window Washing Company? And you should have seen their faces light up. I'm like, go get yourself a bucket. Get some soapy water. Get one of them little squeegees if you can. Then one kid chimes in. He goes, yeah, get a little bottle of Windex. And I'm like, there you go. And all of a sudden, it was back and forth. We had a little thing going. And we'll see if they do it or not. But it's fun thinking up stuff, like that. And everybody hates doing windows. Nobody wants you to come inside these days. Forget it. So let's just knock out the outside. Please put my cash in an envelope, and I'll come around and we'll start collecting money. We'll put you on the monthly plan, and we'll do them every month. So we were having fun with that. That was good stuff, man. And, that just brings me back in time. When I was going back, and these things were like a trigger, and Bodi was taking me around the neighborhood, and I got to the point where I was like, man, Bodi, you're wearing me out. We sat down as the sun was coming down on a curb. I watched the cars go by, and Bodi just was lying there in the grass. We had our little time there, and, you get your phone with you. It's kind of crazy. We're still checking everything with our phones, and we're just, no matter where we are now, and it's pretty amazing that we can stay in contact like that and still be part of what's going on in the world. I think the addictive part of the phone, people talk about, no, don't use your phone too much, don't look at it so much. How about don't worry about it? How about that? Huh? How about I like my phone with me all the time? I do work from the phone. I check things from the phone. And the fact that it's real time and it's like live, things going on, like it's happening now. It isn't like you taped a program and you're going to watch it at a later time. This phone is happening. The internet is going 24/7, 365. Enjoy the process. I could think of more unhealthy things to do than having my phone with me, whether I'm on the toilet or walking around the neighborhood. So, that being said, you want to do it your way. You don't like, what I'm saying with that and the phone and all that. Get your own show. Like Emeril Lagasse used to say, my favorite chef. He's not on TV so much anymore, but when he used to come out there, and he used to take his spice and go bam. Emeril Lagasse was from New Orleans, and he would talk about how add a little this, add a little that. You don't like what I'm doing here or whatever. Get your own show. So I just really want to encourage everybody to keep listening. We're going to be here. Bringing you some gems daily. There's tons of stories to go still. We'll be dipping in and out of early childhood, middle, later, whatever what's going on today. What do we have, talk about what do we think is going to happen tomorrow, and not get wrapped up in this day to day, and don't get too caught up in don't listen to the man behind the curtain. What's that, Bodi? Yes, I told him. We talked about cellular nutrition. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bodi was just reminding me again. She does take her own vitamins and her little Glandex to clean out her anal glands and all that stuff, so the poopy comes out good. And, we're Bodi's got to keep her immune system strong also. Talk about how dogs and cats, and they found it happened in one of the dogs or somewhere or whatever. Well, same thing. If you feed your dog crap and it's not healthy and its immune system is weak, yeah, I get it. But, you take care of yourself. You take care of your pet. Make sure they're eating well. They're taking some supplementation. Doing what you're supposed to do. And checkups with the vet. A lot of love. Like they give you, and no COVID. Doesn't bother them either when their immune system is strong. So, that being said, everyone, DeanBodi Podcast, right? On Apple, on Spotify, on Google. We got YouTube channel, DeanBodi. Look for that. We got some videos out there, and we're futzing around with those. And yeah, they might not be edited nice and all clean and fancy schmancy, but that's the way we want it here at DeanBodi. How it really happens. Oh, wow. That we don't have the best camera, and it's not all these special effects and all this other stuff and all of this flim-flam zim-zam. You know what I mean? That's okay, though, because real life in the real world is rough edges. And it looks good still. I mean, let's get real. The iPhones, the video on there is unbelievable. On by itself, without the fancy schmancy. Okay? And the audio's good. And it's amazing how great it sounds with just this, equipment that we have pretty much on hand, ready to go. And it just blows my mind. It blows my mind that the stuff that we can do. And I hope we're bringing some joy to you, and Bodi's bringing joy to me, and helps me bring the joy to you, man. And we're going to keep on moving forward. And again, DeanBodi@gmail.com. And we'll be figuring this out, how we can take some callers and get that dialed in. And some other things as we navigate through this journey. I hope you guys are having a great day. And let me see. Tomorrow looks like it's Hump Day. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And have a great rest of the week. And, hopefully you'll be tuning in on a daily basis. And, again, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button on the podcast. And let's keep this thing rolling, okay? Take care of yourself, right? Most powerful drug in the world begins with an F, ends with a D. Food, supplementation, whole food vitamins, chelated minerals, good cellular nutrition, right, Bodi? And we'll see you next time, all right, on the DeanBodi Podcast. The Dean and Bodi Show. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye now.